Hi all, it's Dr. Bloom. I'm coming to you today from Bradley Palmer State Park in Ipswich and Topsfield. I'm currently at one of my favorite little picnic sites in the state park. This is often where I'll bring my 4-year-old to fish, but we also often do hikes around here. So this week we're talking about the benefits and values associated with outdoor recreation, as well as participation in outdoor recreation. So the first thing I want to talk about is the economic value of outdoor rec. Outdoor rec has an economic impact of $887 billion per year. And that number comes from 2019, which is pre-COVID times. So during COVID, as you all saw in some of the readings, there was a big boom in outdoor rec. In fact, like when I was going to stores, you could barely find equipment or gear or anything like that. So, and then getting a campsite took sometimes months. It was very hard to find a campsite. So like people were outdoors. So I'm pretty sure the impact is going to be greater this last year. But that $887 billion, that's how big the outdoor rec industry is. That includes all facets: hunting, fishing, skiing, mountain biking, any and all facets of outdoor recreation, gear sales, jobs, the amount of jobs that it brings in, which is 7.6 million jobs. So the outdoor rec industry is huge. That $887 billion figure is greater than the gross domestic product of numerous countries. It is greater than Belgium, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Sweden, and on and on. It would rank 17th in the world if you put the $887 billionth dollar across the gross domestic product of all the numerous countries that are out there. So 17th, that's how big this industry is. And that traces back to our history as a country. We have been doing this for a very, very long time, and it is an important part of who we are as people. So I want to briefly talk to you about, anyway, the areas that outdoor rec is connected to. The biggest one is tourism. Clearly, there is tourism related to going to national parks or state parks. Anytime people travel more than 50 miles, it's considered a tourist activity. So I often, with my family, will go 50 miles because I like to explore new places, or we like to go camping or hiking or fishing or whatever. So tourism is a big part of this. It's a big driver of why we have national parks. National parks were created to conserve our natural and cultural resources, but in part that was to drive tourism and drive development of cities and towns and areas of this country. Art and music. Without art and music and without the beauty that nature brings, they kind of both inspire each other. Without our historical landscape artists like Thomas Cole and Georgia O'Keeffe, they wouldn't have found inspiration in nature, and thus they wouldn't have been the artists that they were. But without their art, people wouldn't value things as much. You have climate change and sustainability. Clearly, outdoor rec teaches people about what's important and how to conserve our resources, or why we want to conserve our resources. Without that, we can't fight climate change, because without natural areas like this and the carbon that trees hold and the oxygen that they produce, we're not going to be very successful in that fight. Sports. So talk like skiing, for instance. Sports are the backbone of a lot of towns and areas, and skiing is one example of that. You go out west to Vail or somewhere like that. What are they known for? They're known for skiing in the summer and skiing in the winter, mountain biking in the summer. So it's huge. It's all directly related. Let's see, education. Okay, I could teach. A big drive of my taking my kids outside is the value of education. You've got natural history, clearly. You've got cultural history, because you'll see ruins and you'll see all sorts of different things left over in the woods. We've seen Native American artifacts. We've seen old mills. We've seen all sorts of stuff that were built up around our natural resources. Houses, under many reservoirs, there's whole cities under there. So there's the natural and cultural history. There's science, clearly. There's social studies. There's math. There's everything. There's writing and reading. Everything you can do in nature. So, like, for me, the education system needs to evolve, because it doesn't take into account how important this stuff is. And so, like, there's that. The areas that it's connected to are indelible. So what are some of the other benefits? Well, we have the personal, and I'm over here right now showing you what damage a beaver has done in taking down a tree. Clearly you could see all the marks from his teeth in here if you look closely. Beavers are really cool. There's another tree to chop down. So going back, so values and benefits. Personal, for me, I get an escape. I feel better about the world. I get balance. And I feel much better about myself when I've been out in nature. So a lot of people feel the same way. Like, you feel more yourself when you're out here. Let's see. There's social benefits. You hang out with friends or your family. You meet other people that have similar interests as you. You do stuff as a group. You go kayaking together. You have experiences that make memories. That's what this is all about. There's the emotional or the mental end of being outside, which is huge. Escape is a part of that, but regaining personal sense of balance. Like, for me, it's huge. When I get bogged down in life, I have to go out into nature, because it does do what I need it to do. And again, it has a lot of the impact of that. And when we were in the pandemic, a lot of people were searching for that balance, and we didn't have our typical gyms, and we didn't have our typical sports facilities. So more and more people came out into nature. You have the physical, obviously. You get a lot of exercise, hiking, biking, basketball. Well, not really basketball in this sense, but hiking, biking, fishing, hunting, kayaking, canoeing, and mountain biking. Any of those activities will bring you physical benefits. Obviously, the CDC recommends the average adult get about 150 minutes of exercise a week. Just 150 minutes. That's just over 2 hours, which is actually fairly pathetic. But if you get that, you can come out to nature and get that in a way that is beneficial in so many capacities. you know, the rest of what we're going to be talking about this week all revolves around that area of benefits, like why people participate and in what level they're participating into things. It's a direct impact on, or it's a direct result on, the more we get out, the more we learn, the better we feel about ourselves. So with that, I will leave you for this week, but we are going to have a discussion post, we will have a reading, and we'll have a podcast-based post. I'm also posting an outdoor rec challenge for this week, so look out for that. As was due last week, everything will be due Tuesday night. So I will be around if you need me or have any questions. Otherwise, have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.